hear you say good morning back to me. In 1917, an Irish priest by the name of Father Flanagan grew discouraged just helping homeless men in Omaha, Nebraska. So he shifted his perspective and his attention. He actually borrowed $90 to pay the rent on a boarding house, which we all came to know as Boys Town. Well, that happened in December of 1917. By spring of 1918, 100 homeless boys filled that boarding house. Can you imagine the joy? But in that same year, 1918, a cripple boy was abandoned by his parents, and they just couldn't take care of him, so they placed him with Father Flanagan. And one day, while one of the other fathers was working, he was teaching there at the orphanage, and he happened to notice that some of the boys were taking turns carrying this crippled child up and down the stairs. And so he stopped them and he said, "Why are you doing that? You don't have to do that." And their answer was, "He ain't heavy, he's our brother." That wonderful, selfless philosophy became the motto of Boys Town. They even erected a bronze statue showing a boy carrying another boy on his back. Well, of course, became the theme of a pop song sung by the Hollies back in 1969, and of course by numerous artists since then. But the reason I'm telling you about this is, he ain't heavy, he's our brother, is the meaning of our sixth principle. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And this golden rule rings true whether you're 9 years old or 90. Our world would not be in a phobic frenzy today if we could just learn how to live together in peace. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Now, as spiritualists, I'm sure you have endured, just as I have, a lot of grief and sarcasm from family and friends and family members for your religion. Both my mother and my sister, and of course my husband, attended my ordination. And afterwards, my mother's attitude was, "I'm being led down a primrose path." My sister Barbara had a different attitude. She was proud of my accomplishments. She absolutely did not understand my choices, but she was proud of me. And the reason she didn't understand my choices is because she was a Christian missionary who spent most of her adult life in Indonesia. So we really did have different choices. She became a missionary, I became a spiritualist minister. Well, my sister retired when she became 65 and came home in June. And by August, she was on her last days. And we went to, she went to a hospice in Baltimore. And I was very privileged to get to spend an entire night. I spent an overnight. We had not had an overnight with each other in years. So I spent an overnight with her at the hospice, and we talked and discussed why I believe in spiritualism and how it affected our lives. Because on a very personal note, my sister Carol committed suicide, and Barbara sincerely believed, as a Christian missionary, sincerely believed Carol went to hell. So I explained to her why I don't believe that, which I can also get into another one of our principles, which we always believe that we can advance and learn and grow and we don't go to hell. So, but back on topic. So I told Barbara, she wanted to know she wanted me to tell her what was going to happen when she passed. So I told her that Daddy would be standing at the foot of her bed, and that he not only would be there, but she would see him and she would recognize him. So of course we were able, through talking so much, we were able to heal a lot of our lifetime wounds that we both shared just during that wonderful night together. I'll never forget it. So I believe that the way we are going to heal the emotional wounds of this earth is to start with ourselves. Let's call it heal the ouch or heal the owie. And in order to make amends for the harm that we have caused other people, we must first look in the mirror. How have I been selfish? How have I been greedy? How have I been inconsiderate of other people? Am I holding resentment for injury done to me in the past? That was my biggie personally. This injury could be mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, and perhaps we should make a list on a sheet of paper, but leave space on the right-hand side so that we can make a little check beside each time one of our injuries we later inflicted on someone else. Now let me say unequivocally, racism has no place in our spiritual churches or in our spiritual homes. Our church services and classes and fairs create an arena where we can welcome in all neighbors. They create situations where we hold dialogues with people we may otherwise have never gotten the opportunity to meet or know. This is important work. Important conversations start with these moments at these intersections. The changes start when we simply offer to help each other. Like bringing food to the back of our kitchen. We have a little pantry on shelves there. That is for people who are hungry, for people who need that food. And we all volunteer to bring it out of our pantry at home, carry it to the church, and give it away. Magic happens when we help each other during hurricanes and health crises, or when we come together to clean up the church or plant flowers. Only when we really see each other will we begin to resolve our differences. In order to heal our world, we need to practice deep and radical forgiveness. In order to be free, to know healing, we must surrender our old hurts and begin anew. We must forgive ourselves. We must love ourselves. And this healing will require that we become humble. We must admit our weaknesses. And it's through this personal reflection that we will become familiar with our own human character. It is by walking through the shadows of our own flaws and weaknesses that we will bring healing light into the world. The little boys at Father Flanagan's Boys Town were definitely injured in so many ways. Imagine the hurt that they went through before they ever got to that orphanage. They were homeless and rejected by society. Their emotional spirits must have hit rock bottom by the time Father Flanagan found them. And no matter what their faith, and no matter what the color of their skins, he embraced them and gave them a home. They learned the true meaning of the golden rule, and they paid attention to Father Flanagan's example. They emulated him. They practiced what they learned by watching out for each other. They learned acceptance, not discrimination. They learned how a real family is supposed to act, not just a DNA family. They lit up that boarding house with joy and love for each other. He ain't heavy. He is my brother. It's not just a motto. It's not just a song. It is a light in the darkness. It is our spiritualist way of life. The spiritualist way of life is like living in an inclusive neighborhood where everyone is our brother and sister. You are a healing light in this world. Sparkle and shine, my dear friends. Bless you.